Hi, how you doing? Good, I hope. I've been reading a book I've had for a very, very long time. It's about business and society. It's actually a college book. Can't hardly see it. Yeah. I have the name and everything in my description. And I'm just wondering, does history just keep repeating itself and repeating and repeating? And this since preacher is mentioned in here too, he sounds like a businessman as well. Maybe he's one that helped take water to the battered devil there for a while. But anyway, with the points that really struck my attention, I'll read to you. Wealth in the feudal era had been generally perceived as an evil. In the mercantilist age, however, this perception began to change. The church had lost much of its control over values and beliefs, and nation-states had seen the importance of wealth in promoting their interests. The Protestant Reformation contributed greatly to this shift in values. Reformist John Calvin proclaimed that wealth was a sign of God's grace and blessing, thus circumventing medieval hostility to the businessman's search for wealth and opening the way for the massive capital accumulation that was essential to industrialization. The economic environment was marked by a great deal of trade across nations, driven by rulers' desires for national self-sufficiency. Money, precious metals, assumed a crucial position in mercantilist economies. John A. Hobson notes that the increasing use of precious metals as money, a relative constant medium of exchange, was essential to the eventual rise of capitalism. The existence of the precious metals in a community enables the type known as the businessman to arise and function by directing the flow of superfluous industrial energy from the direct production of consumers' wealth to the production of industrial and commercial capital goods. Leikeman says that mercantilists of every persuasion esteem money as a positive good, which that makes it a denial, doesn't it? Early in the mercantilist era, precious metals were valued for their beauty, durability, and malleability, but later their role in an international trade and consequently the economic stability of nations came to assume prime importance as nations learned to use economic weapons in their battles for domination. Leikeman, for example, recounts the desire of Napoleon Bonaparte to ruin the English economy by selling continental goods there. No matter what, Englishmen might have more food, even more munitions to press their war against him. What counted was the drain upon their precious metals. This drain would destroy them. Gaining control over the money supply was a prime feature of the drive for economic self-sufficiency, as each nation-state sought to avoid dependence on foreign imports. The incentives offered to private businesses by emerging nation-states included direct financing, provision of natural resources, and military protection. Christopher Columbus was not exploring for the fun of it. He was seeking a western sea route to the resource-rich lands of the East. His expedition in 1492 was financed by Queen Isabella of Spain, who very much wanted to discover and control such a route to aid her commercial ventures and finance her plans for a vast Spanish empire. Businesses served the public interest by helping monarchies achieve national independence through such ventures and providing tax money to the crown. National independence could be furthered by developing the nation's own internal resources and commerce. It appeared that this end could be reached quickly by colonizing non-European lands and using them to benefit the crown. Give you a clue? Colonies in North and South America, Africa, and Asia served as capital markets for the colonizing nation's own goods and as rich repositories of valuable natural resources and labor. And doesn't this sound so very familiar to what America is doing now? The mercantilist age, in summary, was characterized by a social organization dominated by nation-state monarchies and the replacement of the old status-based contract. Peasants' security for allegiance and labor to the lord, with a more direct and individualistic style of exchange, workers' knowledge, skills, and labor for wages. The economic system was dominated by international trade, colonization of distant lands, and the use of precious metals as money. The belief system, formerly universal and church-defined, had become more individualistic, more secular. As Eberstead notes, God was no longer the first principle in business enterprises. Wealth gradually came to be seen as a sign of salvation and not of eternal damnation. Wealth and power, moreover, were the hallmarks of national and monarchical interests, and commerce was seen as an ideal vehicle for serving those interests. Indeed, commerce served the state well, and in the process secured much personal wealth, power, and prestige with the formerly despised and barely tolerated business class. Well. Is that what our problem is? America, just so many Americans has fallen into adultery. They idolize gold and silver. Those are idols. And many other things. And if those church people ever read their Bibles, they'd already know about all this before I ever even discovered it. And I'm just wondering, have all churches turned into a business cult? You tell me. Prayers and blessings to all the believers, and even prayers for the wicked, that they may awake and repent before they lose their souls to Satan. Have a great one. Later.